Is that how you're going to know that we're actually recording?
Right away, and I'm recording right away so that everybody knows everything's happening right away.
Hey, my friend Revendon just started watching.
Oh, hey, that's exciting.
That's pretty cool.
I think he should spam his face in the chat room. Thanks, I think I will. Bye bye bye.
Oh, jeez.
Uh,
Oh, so that's the one you're talking about.
oh, that's right. I didn't have it. I didn't have it last week. They still haven't approved one of them. I switched it. It used to be me doing a thumbs up. I changed it to George R.R. Murloc, but they still haven't approved it. So
Just because you're all like, hey, you know what's cool? My other Murloc got approved right away, so this one will too.
hey guys, look, Civ spammed himself in the chat room too. Hi
I'm a little
everybody.
worried as to what exactly that is.
It looks like a baby diaper.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Like a baby diaper and legs.
Interesting.
Like if it had been right under mine and his name had been the same length as mine, it would have looked like I was a little like a head on a little.
That
baby
would have been
body.
amazing.
Oh, okay, so try that. Just put one in or two in there. See if you can.
Yeah, it needs to be more than one because okay, nobody but Civ say anything. It needs to be more than one because Civ's name is. Oh crud! I messed it up. I did too many.
Oh no, John!
I did too many.
What did you do?
I messed it up.
It is very close.
You know, if you gave Civ a
outside.
sword, I think it would actually line up.
We're not doing that. We don't trust him. I got a space like 3 times. Okay, John, just put a single one in there.
Just a single one? Okay.
Yeah, just a single one.
All right.
Because he'll be ready. Oh! He screwed it up himself.
Yeah.
Okay, get ready, Civ.
That one, I don't know if I like as much, John.
Why? It's Kyle. It's great.
Yeah, but it's a little bit too big, I think. Yours is much more
right,
baby body size.
All right, hold on. I'll do it. There we go.
Oh,
Oh, gosh, dang it. He had to type a bunch of dots. Civ, come on, man.
So, look at me. I typed dots.
So, yeah, like maybe like 5 dots.
Actually,
and then,
no,
then
it's
baby
perfect.
body.
If you look.
It didn't
Yeah,
work.
I feel like he has to put dots.
Yeah, so put the ellipses in there.
Okay.
Yep, yeah, put the dots in.
Also, This started watching, and it would have cut it off anyway because she's on my friends list. So there we go.
Yes!
Nailed it.
Yeah, there we go.
Nailed it. Finally.
It happened.
Bingles.
Nailed it.
John has a little itty bitty body now.
This was important.
Yeah,
I'm really glad we got to this because, you know.
It's like something for like.
Show's over. Done. Like we don't need to do anything else.
Yeah, achievement unlocked.
Yeah, we're never gonna top that. So.
Civ, if you did 6 stuff, I think it'd line up a little better.
No, we're not gonna worry about it. I think we've got it really where it needs to be.
Good?
Yeah, we got it where it needs to be.
All right.
Hi everybody.
Well,
hi chat. We probably should. I think Joss does that now.
Does what?
Starts off the show when you're ready. On your time.
Yeah.
All right then. I'm just gonna sit back and relax.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we
That's
can
what
hang
you do.
out for a while. You've got all the power. You can tell us when to begin. You could surprise us. Just all of a sudden be like, bah, and then the show's going. And
well, it's not a surprise now though, because now you can see it coming.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you could surprise us
if you wanted.
If you wanted.
Yeah.
Like you could bring it. You could be like, "Hey guys, what's the status of the? Hi, this is Jocelyn," and we'd be like, "Oh
no, it happened!" Woo! Now I know how to do it. You guys are like psyching me out.
hold on. Let me make sure my
You've done this so many times.
quiet.
How could you possibly be psyched out?
And it's like, what are you worried about? That we might interrupt you while you're doing your intro?
Fair enough.
We've never done that purposefully forever.
No. I mean, it's a little awkwardly quiet now. Now I think
I
we're
know.
expecting it. Now it's nervous. It's like that game where you put your hands out and someone puts their hands under and you know they're gonna slap you. Now we're just getting all psyched
That's
out.
exactly what it's like because I'm sitting here going, should I do it? No, I shouldn't do it. How about now? No. Oh, they're gonna interrupt me. Crap. Oh,
Well,
what do I do?
John, change that description to where they slap your hands because I just picture you put your hands out. So just slap just right across the face.
I don't know how you
Look.
play it, but that's how I played it.
That's a game I don't want to play.
Oh, I almost just randomly brought up something from a Slack chat earlier today that is not appropriate for the chat right now and we should not be talking about, but just
Are you talking about slapping wieners?
it was funny and it involved an alternative way of killing spiders.
Is it in one of the streams that I'm in?
It's in I think it was in the core chat.
Ah, dang.
We were talking
double check
about
anyway.
because Scott and Bo were posting videos of like those 80s like dating like tapes
Oh yeah.
and how corny they were, and so we were coming up with like modern versions of that where it would be a bunch of guys trying to convince people they weren't creepy perverts, and they would try to be all like socially minded and all of that, and it was fun. Anyway, it led to a story about an alternative way to kill spiders that we're not going to talk about right now.
Okay. That's good to know.
We can talk about it later.
I'm really curious now.
It's think of a billion ways to kill a spider, and I guarantee you didn't
It's one
think
of those?
it. No, you didn't think of it.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, we should probably start the show at some point. Is it weird that I'm nervous though? Like I'm actually nervous. I'm like, oh, when's Joss gonna start the show? Like,
Well,
I
are you
love
nervous
this
because
power that I have. I don't want to give it up.
Well, John, are you nervous because you're like, oh, how am I going to interrupt her if I don't know when she's starting? Is that what it is, or is it just like you just have no idea when it's going to happen?
I don't know. I think it's just like I think we're building hype for the show. Like I think this is healthy. I think we should do it every week where we don't know.
Okay.
I like it. I like the guest having the power. Smart.
Yeah, it makes you feel instantly comfortable from the beginning, right?
Exactly. And then I can do things like, hi, this is Jocelyn from the Gamers Inn and the Angry Chicken, and you're listening to Azeroth Roundtable.
Boom! Mic drop. Show's over. Oh, not really though.
That was
You
it.
can't do
That was just in there. It was so quick. I was like, oh, I got to click something.
Yeah. Oh, and you
You
did your
weren't
transition
recording?
and everything. Oh no, he's recorded. We're good. Yeah. But I have to jump in with welcome to Azeroth Roundtable, episode 233. It is Friday night. Argus is in the sky, looking nice and bright and shiny. My name is Ben Bumhofer, and with me, as always, is John Jagger. How's it going, John?
Hello, Ben. It is Friday night here in Azeroth, and I am happy to be joining you at the round table. I'm coming to you from a remote location that's full of dogs.
Like, they're everywhere, right?
Well, to the left of me, laying on the floor quietly right now.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, that's good.
hopefully quietly all show, guys.
We'll find out.
But it's very exciting, and I'm very happy to be here. But it's not just us. Joining us tonight, returning, I was going to say champion, but sure, you can be a champion. Returning champion, Jocelyn. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back, Jocelyn.
Thanks for having me, guys.
I almost jumped into We Are the Champions, but then I'm like, no, it'd be You Are the Champion, because that's what John said. He doesn't consider me a champion ever. And as we know, there was the last year kerfuffle, and currently Rose the champion. So,
yeah,
inappropriate song.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, hi, Jocelyn. It's been a little while. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I was trying to think of the last time I was actually on the show, and it was a while ago. I've had so much going on, and every time you ask, I'm just like, oh, no, I can't because blah. So, yeah, I mean, in the intervening time between the last time I was on the show, I mean, we bought a house, we moved, we had, I don't even think I've been on since, Nertacular. So, yeah, it's been forever.
Yeah.
There's been lots of travel, vacation, house buying, crazy summer crap. Here I am.
Yeah, I mean, you made millions and millions of dollars in the stocks and lost them all.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, that was what a roller coaster.
You saved that man from the burning building.
I like
mean,
that you
tons of
said
stuff happened.
millions and millions.
Yeah. Well, see, because once you get to a certain level of millions, then you go like evil supervillain.
Oh,
because
okay.
it just gets that much higher. Yes, exactly.
It's like, oh, guys, I have millions of dollars. You're not there yet, but you can judge success when that same guy comes back later and he says, guys, I turned my millions into millions.
Yeah, exactly. That's how that works. I thought everybody knew that.
Well, I mean, hey, we're here to teach you things and consider yourself taught.
One thing's been learned so far.
Hey, Ben, you want to hear a good joke that I heard today?
Okay.
What did the green grape say to the purple grape?
What?
Breathe, you idiot!
Oh, wow.
Nothing's gonna solve that.
Nope.
That's a good one, though.
I have no idea why I felt the need to share that. I heard it today.
I don't know why you didn't lead with that.
I know.
Yeah. No kidding.
It's really, I mean,
Now,
we set the bar very high for this episode now.
just a guess. Did you hear that from our mutual friend, and would it be considered a dad joke?
No, I read that online today when I was looking for jokes. I was looking for bad jokes, and it was the only one that actually made me laugh when I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, this is good. I don't know why this is
your
on
show
the
prep?
list.
Your show prep is just, I'm going to search for a joke.
No, this was I have a process running at work. And so somebody on Twitter, I think it was a Heroes of the Storm commentator, decided to share a really bad joke on Twitter today. And it made me roll my eyes, but then my reaction was, oh, that's a terrible joke. So then I immediately turned around and told my coworkers the joke, because that's what you do when you hear a bad joke. And nobody was laughing, so we all just started telling each other bad jokes, seeing which person could make somebody else laugh with a bad joke. And so the grape one got some people. It's a pretty great
Definitely
joke.
got me. It was good.
Yes, I was a big fan of that. It's a good joke. I'm gonna try and remember it. Of course, it's recorded, so I can actually just clip that out and then turn it into your ringtone or something.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll do that.
yeah. Every time I call you, I tell you the grape joke.
And I just start laughing.
I
never answer because I'm like, let's hear it again.
I think that's the way to do it. Man, I just never see that punchline coming. It just surprises me every time.
Yeah. Anyways, Jocelyn, welcome back to the show. Granted, yes, I've wanted you to come on before since last time because we love having you on the show and everything. But I kind of thought that this week would be a very good opportunity to have you on because of one thing in particular.
Now I'm worried.
Well, okay, when people think of Jocelyn, they think of several different things, like, awesome streamer, Hearthstone person, things like that.
Like Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah, Hearthstone enthusiast. There you go. Yeah, exactly, like Kel'Thuzad. He's a huge Hearthstone enthusiast. Unicorns, other things.
I thought that might be where you were going with this.
Wait, what?
Chat room's just like, unicorns! I'm like, okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, I mean, okay, one of the things that I know that you were super excited about before this expansion came out was during some of the, like BlizzCon, video that they showed and, previews of zones and everything like that, there were unicorns running around. And if I remember correctly, that was one of the things that you wanted as a mount most of all.
Absolutely. I mean, who doesn't want to ride a unicorn? Like, they're so freaking cool. Even though the WoW unicorns kind of have like a weird horn that doesn't just go out, it kind of go. It looks.
They're like weaponized.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're a little bit odd, but they still pass.
Okay. Well, good enough. So the big question is, before say the most recent one that was discovered or added or whatever, do you have any of the other unicorn mounts yet?
I do not. I didn't actually know you could get the unicorn mounts until this one, the Lucid Nightmare.
Okay. Well, cool.
And I haven't seen anyone riding around on them, so I don't understand why.
Well, maybe they're just not as enthusiastic as you are, or possibly because they don't fly.
I just like the
Okay.
idea of Joss's character on the ground, just like looking at people and saying, like, they have the unicorn though, right? Yeah. But they're not using it? No, they're gonna use a different I don't get it. They have the unicorn though.
Well, what I don't understand is why the unicorns don't fly. Like, come on. They're magic.
They're not Pegasuses. They're just unicorns.
But unicorns are magic, Ben. Unicorns can fly.
Yeah.
They fly on rainbows.
It's true. It checks out.
Yeah, very true.
John
So what they
knows.
need to do is get that goat mount, and then instead of clouds that it's running on, have it just be like a Nyan cat, like rainbow, going the whole
How
time.
hard would that be? I mean, come on, Blizzard.
Okay, that'd be really cool.
Well,
So-
especially because, not to get too far ahead here, but the Lucid Nightmare is clearly, it has the same weirdness to it that the Headless Horseman mount does. And I always thought that was a part of its ability to be a horse mount that flies. You know how when you go over like a slightly angled surface, usually your mount just stays level and just keeps going. But the Headless Horseman mount, and now the Lucid Nightmare is the second one I've noticed this on, the whole mount angles off to the side. Like, they remain pointed in whatever direction the ground is pointed at. So if you're on a diagonal hill, your mount is sticking out at a weird diagonal instead of being straight up.
Oh.
It's odd. Like, you kind of have to try it to see it, but like,
I never noticed this before.
yeah, if you have the Headless Horseman mount or the Lucid Nightmare now, go try it, ride around on it. You'll notice the mount like does weird wobbly things. You kind of have to just see it. I don't know of any others that do it, but I'm sure there are plenty of others that do.
I don't know, because I mean, there's Invincible that flies, the Paladin class mount flies. I off the top of my head I can't think of. Tyrion's Tyrael's charger flies.
Yeah, but it has wings, so that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah. So I wonder how they deal with angles.
I don't know. It's weird. Everybody should go try it. Do it right now. We'll give you time.
Yeah.
But we'll continue doing a show while you do it.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was waiting on that one. So anyways, I learned about this mount just randomly in guild chat, and then I recorded Battle Pets, and Eludra said, "Hey, what about that new mount?" I'm like, they were talking about something in guild chat, and what's up? So then she linked me like the whole, "Hey, this is how you get it" thing, and I'm like, that's intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the one mount that I did actually kind of, because I am part of the WoW secret finding Discord, although like I joined it because I was like, I like secrets, I like mysteries, this could be super fun, and this seems like a nice community. It's like my level of secret finding is like here, and their level of secret finding is like here. Like I should not be in there. I do not belong.
So like your level is like, oh hey, there's murlocs that can be pets, and other
Look
people
what
are
I
like,
discovered. Yep. The
you can
secrets I
portal to
find
your
aren't
class
actually
hall
very
from
secret.
Dalaran. Wow.
Hey, okay, that it took me as a hunter a long time to figure out that there was a freaking eagle, okay?
Okay, well,
I was
I
like,
didn't know
why does everyone else get portals and I have to take a flight path?
that. Nice.
Yeah. So again,
Dear Blizzard,
my level of secret finding.
I'm Canadian and I don't find eagles nearly as impressive as you.
Yes, I have no reason to pay attention to eagles. If he made it a moose, then we could talk.
Oh my
Then I
gosh,
would've
that'd
gone
be
and clicked
great. If it was like a culturally accurate like teleport mount, like whatever country you're in, it's just something completely associated with it.
A beaver would have been acceptable as well.
Well, except you need two of them and strap them to your feet. That's how that works.
I don't really know how the beaver would fly. Maybe propeller tails?
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows that. That's how beavers fly. Jeez.
But anyways, so I started this conversation. I'm telling you I'm part of the secret finding Discord. So they're constantly like throwing around different like theories and like, oh, I found this random rock that you can click on. Oh, I found this like out of place sign. Like it's really weird. I'm just like, how do you find this stuff? Like really, like you have to know the World of Warcraft literally rock by rock for every single like room and cave and path, and like you have to know everything because they spot every little detail that's out of place or different from the previous patch. It's insane. So the one that I actually spent some time on doing, which wasn't necessarily a secret, but it was the long forgotten hippogriff, where you had to go around Azuna and click the 5 different crystals, and it only happens like once every 12 hours. And you know, like once someone clicks the first one, like anyone can find any of them in any order, and then the first person to click all 5, they show up. I think there's like 140 different potential spawn points around the zone, so it was pretty crazy. It took me like 5 or 6 tries. So you go around and you click the first person in the zone to click 5 gets the mount. And then if you've ever been in Azuna and you've seen something about like a far off cry in your like general chat, that's somebody getting the mount. So I think it's really cool, and I had a lot of fun doing it. But outside of that, I haven't really done much of the stuff that they've found through the secret finding Discord. But yeah, when this came up, I was kind of like, oh, cool. And so I've started a little bit of it. I've only done just because we've been crazy busy for the last few weeks, but I've only done the first 2 steps of the mount, like of the Lucid Nightmare. Do you call it a quest chain? Because it's not really like there's no like exclamation marks. And
let's call it a treasure hunt.
Okay, so I've done the first 2 steps of the treasure hunt. Yeah.
Okay. So John, one of the reasons why I know that you actually got the mount before I even knew about it is, well, first of all, Sarah told me. She's like, hey, John got it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What? You know, still didn't know. But also, I saw that you're randomly in AQ40. I'm like, why is he in there? I had no clue. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Go hang out with some bugs.
I was playing Bejeweled, Ben.
Well, this is the kind of thing I think about this one that makes it that much cooler than the long forgotten hippogriff in Azuna, is because it's sending you to a whole bunch of old places. And I love when they put content in the game that makes you go places you wouldn't usually visit otherwise once you've hit max level. So the fact that it's kind of like sending you to like so far 2 old raids on 2 different continents, it's really cool.
Yeah, and seeing like areas that are familiar really changed in a bizarre way, like the XT room with a bazillion little glowing crystals on the ground.
So cool.
And you're just like, oh my gosh. And then the other thing, because I was, you know, obviously I was using a guide to go through it to some degree, but like, how did they know which ones to click? There are so many to click. And,
well, I mean, it's the hive mind, right? So I'm sure, like, as it was happening, it was just like constant, like, whoosh, going through of people trying different combinations.
Everybody, and we have so many people. Everybody choose a pattern.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's the what, the million monkeys with the million typewriters getting Shakespeare.
Yep.
Yeah, eventually, that's going to be how you get a mount. You have to just type on you just have to type some Shakespeare.
Okay,
but
I'm good with that.
It's chat's telling me they found the XT pattern on accident. That's crazy.
Oh.
I mean, I can it's symmetrical, which is nice.
Yeah.
But
just some random dude like, I like making patterns.
First I'm gonna make a cross, and then I'm gonna do this. Like, I don't know. It was just nuts. But it was a lot of fun, and it was really cool to see stuff in kind of a new light, and see how they put weird things into WoW, like the untangling puzzle that you do.
That was cool.
Was really weird. Like it was super cool, but just like, oh, this is a weird mini game that I'm playing, and it was like what it felt like, because when I got to that part of the quest, you're not in an instance or anything, so you can see other people that are doing it at the same time as you.
So many people were like standing in front of me, so I'm like,
Well, yeah, but you can move with it. Once you click the thing, you can move to another place. And so when I walked in, there were people all around the hut staring at walls, and it was like Game Boy came out in Azeroth. And like all the heroes of Azeroth were like, oh, sick, I got a Game Boy. And we're just standing up facing the wall playing this weird game that I couldn't see. And then it's like, oh no, I got a Game Boy too. I'm going to play this game too.
You didn't think you like walked into Blair Witch or something?
It kind of felt like it. It was really neat. But I had a ton of fun. I actually streamed the entire experience. It was not how I planned the day to go. I was like, well, I just got affiliate. I'm going to do a big celebratory woo. I'm going to play a bunch of games stream. And instead I played, and I'm looking at it right now, 6 hours and 18 minutes of World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so in the pre-show we touched on this really lightly because there's a bunch of different things that you have to do. Obviously, if you follow a guide, which I did because I'm not figuring this stuff out, it gets you from spot to spot, kind of tells you, like, okay, we'll do this or whatever. One thing really quick, you need a shadow weave mask. Before you start and do anything, you need a shadow weave mask. I didn't find that out until I got to the actual place where you needed it. Then I'm like, oh, I can just buy the pattern on the auction house. Cool. So now my tailor can make that. So yay. But so I have a spot that was the hardest for me. John, you had a spot that was the hardest for you. And Joss, technically you have a spot that's the hardest for you. It just might get harder later.
Yes.
So John, I'm pretty sure I know what your spot was. I don't think you know what mine was.
I mean, to me, there is one answer to this, so I'm going to argue with you when you tell me what yours was. But, yeah, let's start with the wrong one, and let's have you explain what you thought was hard about this.
It wasn't exactly hard, but it was the most frustrating for me.
Oh, okay.
And that was playing Bejeweled. Don't get me wrong.
Bejeweled takes a while.
Yeah, because I saw that if you get 5 brains in a row, you automatically win. Or if you get, like, the high score, which there's no way of knowing what it is and how you're going to beat it, you automatically win. I've gotten to a point where it's like, I probably played that for a good hour before, it finally happened.
That's where I lost track of time.
Yeah.
I was sitting there playing that guy. I think I played about a half an hour.
Yeah, I just got so bored with it. And then it's like you're staring at the stuff so much and like it starts blending in with the background because, it's dark in there and stuff. And I'm just like, so that's the part that I was the most frustrated with and had the worst time with.
I think I just oh, sorry, go ahead, Joss.
I was just going to say, like, as far as the visuals of the Bejeweled step, is that my frustration was the best way to play it was in basically like first person, like zoomed all the way in, right?
Oh, yeah.
But then you always had one line of stuff that didn't quite fit on the screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, why didn't they just make it a little bit smaller?
Oh, I alt-Z'd the heck out of that and then just started tilting my head around to find the perfect bit.
Yeah, see, but that's that, like, you're still like moving your head around and stuff. And I just like, yeah, it would have been nicer, I think. And it's a very, very small nit to pick. But I just wish it was kind of like just fit in a screen, because I would try to zoom out just a little bit and then it would pop my character's face in the way. And I was like, damn it, Jocelyn, get out of the way.
I didn't have a problem with it. Like, I played it for a really long time. In fact, I even ran out of valid moves at one point because I was sitting there just staring at it, and I was like, chat, do you see anything? And chat sat there and stared at it for a while with me, and then it was like, no, we got nothing. So I had to actually turn off the game, right click the buff or whatever they call it, and restart it back up and go back into it. Which I don't know if it resets anything, but regardless, I was playing a lot more Bejeweled. I just think I'm lucky because I don't mind playing Bejeweled, so I was happy to just sit there and mindlessly play it for a while. The only part about it that bugged me was I had someone come in and was like, oh, they put Candy Crush in this game. And I'm like, it's not freaking Candy Crush, it's Bejeweled. And then they were like, no, it's Candy Crush. And I was like, I freaking know what Candy Crush is, and I know what Bejeweled is, and this is World of Warcraft Bejeweled. This isn't Candy Crush.
And then, okay, so Jocelyn, this is probably before your time, but there used to be an add-on that it was just Bejeweled. It was literally Bejeweled in World of Warcraft. So like
definitely before my time.
Yeah.
And Peggle.
Well, you were. Oh yeah, Peggle was in there too. It was great. So like you're sitting there waiting for, I don't know, a pull for a raid or something like that. So many people just started playing Bejeweled, just waiting. And like if you got on a flight path, it automatically popped it up so you can play and try to get a high score between different flight points and stuff like that. So it's like, yay, this is really cool. But I mean, it wasn't themed like, brains and tentacles and stuff. It was literally Bejeweled.
Yeah. Branded and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that. I tried to see if the command worked again not too long ago. I was like, aw. But anyway, yeah, I shouldn't have gotten annoyed that but it's just like, I don't know. It's not Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Come on now, everybody. Let's
Stupid millennials
look.
ruining jewels.
If we're gonna get mad about them putting casual games in WoW, let's at least get mad about it being the right casual games in WoW. But all right, Ben, I can see that. Like, I'm not gonna argue with you too hard. I still think it's the wrong answer. But as far as like getting frustrated, like if that's your terminology, then yeah, I can see that, because I don't think I got frustrated with what I think is the hardest part, but it's the hardest part.
Yeah, and I'll tell you why, like how I did everything on what is probably the hardest part. Well, and how I had a lot of fun with it.
I mean, it was a good time, although there were points where I was just like, I do not. Let's talk about it. So this quest ends with a place called the Endless Halls. And what the Endless...
I have heard of this. Everyone's been talking about this.
They're endless.
As it turns out. There's an end, but let's just say that it makes up, that 6-hour stream I was mentioning, it makes up a lot of it.
I guessed I was in there for about 3 hours.
Yeah, I think that's about right. I think that's about as much time as I spent in there as well. So what the Endless Halls is you you eat some ashes.
Which is what you do.
So, and you end up in this Pandaria like tomb type room, and there are exits of sorts to the north, south, east, and west of the room. Mm-hmm. They might be bouldered off in certain directions,
like a bunch of boulders. You can't get past it. Don't even try.
And when you run through one of the directions, as you go through it, it just fades to black. Your mini map does not change in any way, shape, or form, and you're in a room that looks exactly the same.
Yeah. So think
so it's like Zelda, the Lost Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's exactly like that. The only thing that differentiates one room for another, beyond like, okay, well, the north and the south is blocked, and then in this room, okay, east is blocked. The only other differentiation that you have is that every now and then you will come across a room that has a circular rune in it that can be...
It's a colored circular rune.
Yeah, it can be blue, red, yellow, purple, or green. Or you will go into a room and the torches in the room will be lit in one of those 5 same colors as well. Mm-hmm. So the objective of the Endless Halls is to find the torch of whatever color, right-click it, you'll get a buff, and then take it to the rune of the matching color.
Oh, cool.
Now, where it starts to get extra tricky is that, let's say I find the red torch and I know where the red rune is. So I go and I do that. They now go out, and the rooms that used to have these things now look exactly like all the other rooms.
Okay.
And this place is huge. You can go through, 15, 20 rooms before you even see a rune or a torch lit.
Easily.
Very, very easily. And it's not a flat surface either, as I quickly learned. You can't think of it. You can't think of it as like a map on a table. Like, you get warped around and moved around in certain ways. Now, you can reliably find your way back through if you're mapping it, but you will notice that, like, as you're making your map, you're like, man, this part of the map looks an awful lot like this part of the map that I made. Oh crap! At some point, it has warped me around to a position, and I am literally mapping the same spot that I was
twice.
Just another moment ago.
Yeah.
It's awesome, but it's
fantastic.
Time consuming.
Yeah.
And it's,
John, how did you keep track? Like, what did you do?
I used Microsoft Excel.
Me too.
I was just thinking I'm gonna have to go find my graph paper.
Yeah, I have WoW on this side. I've got Excel on this side, and I'm actually coloring the cells gray if it doesn't have anything in it, and then I put like the little caret above the 8 if I entered the room from below. So I went up into that room, and then I was using the arrows going that way, and then I used the forward and back slashes to make a down arrow, and like pointing in the direction of every which way I went. If I ran into a red, like, an orb or a rune, color that cell red, and then put either an R or an O for orb or rune, and mapped out this whole huge thing. But okay, so when I went in there the first time,
is everyone's endless halls the same?
No.
So if you like post, oh, okay.
It's randomly generated. In fact, I'm putting my map up so the chat can see. Here's my map. When I was done, this is what it looked like. You can see it gets a little bit wild, and kind of goes places. There's
I like your lines from one thing to another and everything. That's cool.
Yeah, because I mean, that's the thing is I started with this idea very much of like, oh, all these rooms connect, but then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait, this room is definitely 1 up, 2 over, 1 down, 1 left from this room, but it connects to this room, which would be 2 or 3 over, and oh no, now it's all falling apart.
See, I didn't map it like that. I just continued mapping the entire way. So, like, if I ran or found the rune first and then the orbs later, I would backtrack exactly how I went. Just, I didn't care if I'm like, hitting the same spot or not, because it's like there really is no way of knowing, exactly if it was there or not. So I'm like, I'm just going the same way.
So this part on the right, and I'm sorry to podcast listeners because we are getting a little visual here, but this part on the right was my attempt to kind of condense the map because I noticed a lot of similarities. So like there was this big long stretch of hallway where it was just like a lot of just north and south open doors.
Yeah.
And I noticed that I had mapped it like 3 or 4 times. And I was like, okay, I need to condense it. So I actually started my map all over in a more condensed form. And it was actually turning out really, really nice. But then once I started getting into new areas, it immediately went back to this whole notion of like, oh, this is actually way over here. And oh, this connects to this piece way over here. It was a ton of fun. But man, I was in there for a really long time, and there were parts where I couldn't do it anymore. Like, I was just like, that's it. I am just going to run through rooms until I find something, and then I will figure it out from there, because I just need to see something. I need to see a rune or a torch or something.
So you kind of went mad, just like screaming like, running through a maze.
And it worked. So real quick, I want to give you my tips, and then Ben, if you have anything that you want to talk about your experience or any tips that you have, sure. Let's get yours as well. So here's my tips to you, Jocelyn, and to the listeners if you're going to attempt to go through this. The thing to keep in mind is this. These rooms are identical. There's no way to tell them apart. The only way that you can really tell rooms apart reliably is with the runes and the torches. Mm-hmm. Because they disappear once you turn them in, I cannot stress enough, you should find as many, if not all of them, while you're mapping before you start turning them in. Because as soon as you start turning them in, every time you do that, you're removing 2 different points of reference for getting around the map. Because you don't have to think of it as, oh, I need to map this entire place. You just need to know how to get from, okay, if I'm at yellow rune, I know how to get from yellow rune to blue rune. Like I know the path to that. So it's about making connections with pathways. And once you start removing those options, you get very limited. And that's what I was doing when I was getting in. And my biggest issue that I kept running into was I got through 3 of them before I realized, oh, I should stop turning these in. And so by the end, I only had 4 things in the map to differentiate rooms. And that's part of why I think I went insane. Because it was just nonstop seeing the same room after the same room after the same room. But once I found 3 of the things, I knew exactly how to get from one point to the next point to the next. So that's my recommendation, is find as much of the stuff as you can. Don't worry about having a perfect map, but worry about mapping connections from one point to another so that you can reliably get between those two connections. And
so do you have to get back out again after you've gotten all 5? Or
No,
once you get the 5th one, it just ports you out?
As soon as you get all of the orbs into the runes, you walk through any direction door and you're out in the area that gives you the next clue on where to actually pick up the mount.
Cool.
So yeah. So once you get that last one in there, you're good. So okay, first of all, Civ in the chat room says that there is an add-on that helps you out. I didn't do that because
I recommend not
making
using
maps.
it.
Okay.
I think it's more fun to not.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this is my question because both of you had the exact same reaction to using an add-on, which is, oh no, like that defeats the purpose.
Well,
But
I
you
didn't
both
ever use
used
the
a
add-on.
guide.
Well, yeah,
So-
but we're the ones keeping track of the map and everything like that, whereas the add-on, I'm assuming, totally maps it out for you. By the way, that's Lucid Nightmare Helper if you want to use it.
Well,
But, yeah.
so then this is kind of my question though. Like you're saying that you're figuring it out, you're keeping track of the map, but that's one step of a very long treasure hunt.
Yeah.
And you kind of cheated with all the other steps by using a guide. And okay, cheated is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. Like you had help the
Getting
rest of the
from
way,
point A to
but
point
for
B.
some reason with
yeah.
the maze, you're like, no, you should map this yourself.
Well,
so I'm curious as to how you guys or why you feel like that about an add-on, but a written guide on Wowhead or whatever is
just
fine.
From our experience, at least I'm speaking for you, John, on this. To me, that was part of the fun. Just like the people who are breaking all these codes and everything like that, I'm assuming they're having fun doing that stuff, and that's what they're really enjoying. That like you get a 3-word phrase, and then that just means you know that you have to go to AQ40 and find this one spot. That's not fun to me because I don't have this encyclopedia of WoW knowledge as much as I would like to pretend I do. I don't. So, or like reading binary, I don't read binary. So guess what?
Yeah.
Not gonna happen.
You'd be looking it up anyway.
I think Ben's on the right track with what I would say is it sounds like a lot of fun if I was in that Discord figuring it out with them at the time. Like if I could be an active participant in it. Like one of my favorite gaming memories of all time, and this is such a weird thing, but back in the day, I don't remember which Mortal Kombat game it was. It might have been Deadly Alliance, but Liu Kang is dead in the game. But there were these rumors on message boards that you could get Liu Kang unlocked in the game, and he was a zombie. And it was like, okay, how do we unlock him? How do we find him? We got to find out how to do it. And I was on the forums and exploring this world, and people were posting theories, and we were going through and trying things. And it was that big think tank mentality of like, we are all going to figure this out. And I mean, it's such a dumb thing. It's nothing to be proud of or excited about, but I was there, and I was like the night that somebody was like, here's where you find Liu Kang. We did it. We figured it out. Like I was there that night up trying to figure it out with them and went there and got it and was like, oh my gosh, it works. He is in this game. And it was this big form of people celebrating it. And it was really, really cool. And I think that would be cool. But once it's been figured out, I don't think it is the same or even a fun experience to be by yourself when everybody else already has the answer. Just being like, okay, well, now I got to go translate binary code. And what does that mean? And okay, now...
And apparently this is the month for binary brew, so that could have been super easy.
It could be, yeah. But... Or, like, I mean, even just going into Ulduar. Like, I could figure out the clue for Ulduar. They give you a date. I Google the date. Find out that's when Ulduar comes out. All right, there's a good chance that's where I need to go. But I wouldn't have had fun.
They didn't give you a date. They gave you a series of numbers. I think it was, 7 numbers?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And they were all mixed up, yeah.
and so, like, even if I had figured out, like, oh, okay, Ulduar, that's gotta be it. It's gotta be Ulduar. Like, I wouldn't have had fun running through all of Ulduar trying to find...
Looking in every single nook and cranny for
the
anything.
lever that's randomly on top of a head
Look,
in a pile of trash.
I knew where the lever was supposed to be, and I had a hard time finding it.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think that's just where it is. Like, whereas if you put a big challenge in front of me, like the untying the knots, I mean, Bejeweled isn't really a challenge. It's just kind of like a weird mini game. But like that sort of stuff, I feel like you're given everything you need to take care of it. It's a challenge within the moment just for you. Yeah. And I think that's something that people should try to experience. And if the add-on is just like a it's avoiding what I had to do, which is Alt-Tab, color some cells in Excel, but you're still technically doing a lot of it for yourself, like, then it's okay. But Civ just said it now includes jumps over rooms and stuff like that. And to me, the confusion that comes from jump over rooms and stuff like that is part of the experience. And if there's something that's doing it for me, I just, you'll get the mount quicker. And if that's your goal, that's cool. But if your goal is to feel like you at least played some role in this, I feel like you should try to avoid it.
Yeah, and then that's what I agree with. I mean, it's like there's various levels of challenges throughout getting this entire mount. I'm not at the crack the entire mystery challenge. I'm at the do the steps yourself challenge. And I mean, if you want to use the add-on to do the map and everything, that is perfectly fine. Everybody has their own way of playing the game. And I mean, the end goal is getting a really cool mount. But I had so much fun spending 3 hours of my life running around these halls and stuff. Because, I mean, I did an entirely different way that John did. I didn't map out the entire thing first to find out where everything was. So what I did is, I walked in and immediately there was a green rune. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Oh, you started at a rune?
Yep, I started at a rune.
Wow.
and then I walk around and then, no, wait. No, I started at the pillars, at the orbs. Sorry, it was green orbs. So I went ahead and grabbed the green orbs because I'm like, cool, orbs. Awesome. So I'm going around trying to find stuff. And then I ran into a room with blue orbs. I'm like, oh, cool, blue orbs. And the thing is, I wasn't sure if you could carry more than one orb at a time. So I went ahead and clicked the blue orbs to see if you can, gather them up and then drop them off. You can't. So I learned that lesson the hard way. So then I'm like, okay, I got blue orbs. I'm going to not pick up anything else until I find the rune and everything. So I'm going through and I'm mapping out a whole bunch of stuff, and I totally get lost because I didn't understand that it's, actually going over or under, and, it's like a 3-dimensional maze. I didn't get that. So then I'm like, okay, well, I'm standing here in a room with blue orbs. I completely wiped my map and started over because I'm like, it doesn't matter where you start because it's always going to be the map that you create anyway.
Yeah.
So went through, found the red rune. I'm like, okay, cool, red rune. This is great. Went a little further, found the red orb. I'm like, well, shit, I'm just going to do this. So clicked off the orb because I carried those blue ones forever before I found another sort of landmark. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get rid of it.
Let go of your blue balls.
Yep, exactly. So I grabbed the red ones instead and, backtracked. Everything was great. Dropped them in. I'm like, okay, this is awesome. I got one color done. Perfect. Wipe the map. Started over because I'm like, that's done. I don't care about these rooms anymore because I know that there was nothing in all those other places. I just went or started going a different direction than I had already mapped out and then created a new map. And then I did the purple ones after that. And then the yellow one after that, like, kind of short in time after that. And then as soon as I finished those two, like immediately I got the green and the blue, like right next to each other almost. Wow. So I'm like, cool. So still took like 3 hours. It was a lot of empty rooms, but the wiping the map helped me because, I'm not like building this entire intricate thing. I'm keeping it simple with where I'm going.
So how do you wipe the map?
Oh, sorry, my Excel file. I cleared it. I deleted.
Okay.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought you meant like you could like reset the map in the game or something, and I was like, why wouldn't you just keep resetting it until you spawn on a color that you need?
That'd be way easy.
Yeah, that's why I was like, why did this take you guys so long if you could just keep resetting the map and having it randomly generate? Like, it's like the restart mechanism in Hearthstone against the single player bosses.
Yeah.
Oh, I will add one more additional tip. I don't know how effective it will be from the get-go, but I hit a point in it, like I said, where I was really frustrated because there were 3 things I was looking for, and I couldn't find any of them, and I just kept stumbling into what were clearly the same rooms because I kept finding the one of the 4 things over and over again. So there's advice that I have given people and been given that, whenever you're in a maze or a labyrinth, just hug the right wall. Just always hug the right wall. You'll get where you need to go. And it totally worked. I'm not going to say that it will universally work in this entire thing, but all I'm going to say is this. I was looking for 3 things. When I made up my mind to just hug the right wall, I found all 3 things. And life was good. So the rule of hugging the right wall is in full effect still, and everyone should continue to do it.
Yeah, I just kept going in directions as best I could to not double back around on myself, and it worked out really well for me too. So, somewhere in the chat earlier they said that the maze is kind of spherical, which I mean that would kind of make sense if you think about it. So I mean either way it works. You'll get there. I've seen reports of some people saying that it took them like 6 or 7 hours, which that sucks.
Yeah,
but really eventually you'll get it. Because I mean. Yay.
Just
I don't know.
set aside the time to make sure you're available to do it, because apparently if you have to call it quits in the middle, you start completely over. With that part, you don't have to start the entire thing over again, but
good, because I exited my client, so that would suck to have to play Bejeweled all over again.
So but seriously, that was the most frustrating part, was that Bejeweled.
Well, just before we get too far away from the whole maze thing, I just wanted to say, like, I'm looking at the app page right now, or the add-on page for this Lucid Nightmare Helper. First of all, it looks freaking cool. Second of all, it was created 6 days ago, which means, like, the day that they found out that, like, how to do this, there was an add-on for it. So, like, way to go.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, this is just amazing to me that they already programmed an add-on that quickly.
Yeah, the WoW community is just freaking fantastic when it comes to stuff like this. Like, insanely so. I mean, first of all, if you got the Discord of everybody coming together to do this, then you have programmers who are able to build an app and actually get it to go super fast. I mean, man, so many different people play this game, and I love that.
I wish I knew how to do it. Like, I wish I was better at all of this kind of stuff. I wish I could make my own add-ons. That'd be so fun.
And now I'm just picturing you kind of standing there looking at a computer, and like from A Beautiful Mind, all these equations are swirling around your head and stuff.
I wish.
But this was a ton of fun. Like, that's the other thing I just want to emphasize about this is, like, I make my jokes about running around the hall and going crazy, and it was a 6-hour and 20-minute stream, which, granted, I was not doing this for the entire 6 hours because it started with me questing and then doing some dailies and some stuff like that. But it was a lot of time spent in WoW and all of that, but it was so much fun to do stuff like this. And I wasn't in on the ground floor discovering these things as they were being found, but it still was this nifty bit of discovery because I was just kind of referencing the guide. I was just like, all right, where am I going next? Okay, Gnomragon. And then it was just like me in the chat. And it was just like, all right, guys, well, I'm going to try and find it. Here we go.
I died outside of Gnomragon because of the stupid guards.
Oh, me too. I made a clip of it. I will share that in chat because I titled it, "Remember You Play a Rogue," because I should not have gotten killed by them, but I did. We'll share that with the chat right now so they can see it. And
no, it was fun. I flew into the place where it is, and I'm like, there's the cap on the elevator, and I'm like, how the hell do I get to Gnomragon? And all of a sudden I'm getting attacked, and I died behind the thing that goes on top of the elevator. I'm like, oh man. So then when I corpse ran all the way back, holy crap, it takes forever to get there. I'm just behind, all of a sudden the thing lifts up and the elevator's there. I'm like, oh, res, jump, go down. It totally worked better that way. But yeah, see, this is one of those things where, and John, you and I have talked about it before, how like secrets in WoW are cool. And I mean, granted, huge treasure hunts like this are even cooler because you get something really neat at the end. And between this and the mind worm, I would have to say that I think the lucid nightmare one is actually a ton more fun because it has so much more involved with it as opposed to, okay, go read this thing over here. It's got the different mini games and then the halls and everything like that.
Yeah, I didn't actually do the the Riddler whatever mind something thing, because I saw I think it was actually Civ riding around on it, and I was like, ew. I do not want this mount at all.
That is actually why I have not done it as well. Like I saw it and I was like, oh, cool. It's like you're guaranteed to get it. You just got to do some things. That's super cool. What's the mount look? Oh, never mind. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah. I'm not going to bother.
Well, let's put it this way. I have it because it adds to my mount total.
Which I'll probably do it eventually too, but I was definitely not as excited about it as the Lucid Nightmare because, I mean, it's a unicorn and it looks cool. And yeah, I'm going to have to look into how to get the other unicorns because I literally didn't know you could do that. I thought this was the first unicorn mount and I was like, I'm on it.
I know one of them is, I think you need to prestige like 2 or 3 times in PvP.
Oh, so then I should just play more of my hunter because my hunter is almost prestige 3 times, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm really close. Yeah.
I was wondering if Bloodlust Jocelyn was still alive and well in the World of Warcraft. It's good to know that she is.
It's a little bit different now because they have the PvP world quests that aren't really PvP, so they're super duper easy to do.
Yeah.
And that gives you like heaps of honor. It's kind of stupid. But I mean,
that's all I do.
I should do that just to get the alternate appearance for my artifact, right?
Yep.
Well, John, just to give you the idea, I have the PvP alternate appearance on my artifact, and I have done 0 battlegrounds and 0 arenas and 0 actual PvP.
I need to look up just a guide on how to do the fighting the impossible foe or whatever it is to get the new one that they added in 7.2. Because I want that appearance so bad, but oh man, that fight just wrecks me. And I know I'm not spec'd right for it because I did watch a little video and I was like, oh, well, they're using
Is that the
abilities
mage tower
I don't
thing?
have.
Yeah.
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 I want it so bad, but I don't want to do what I have to do to get it. So
Yep. Same.
Jocelyn, have you tried it at all? I mean, on your paladin, the
did.
Healy one I can tell you about. Yeah.
I did the like literally the very first time the mage tower was up. I did it. Or I tried it. I got my ass kicked, and I was just like, "F this effing stupid piece of god!" And I've never tried again. And then like Matt did it. He got really great. Like he got like the perfect legendary dropped for him. And then he did it like after, I don't know, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 weeks of the mage tower going up and down. He had it pretty quickly. But I mean, he's like a warlock god. So between the legendary drop and like his just insane understanding of his class, like he didn't blow through it. It still took him a few tries and it was very hard. But I was just like, well, now you've done it, so now I don't want to do it because you did it way before me, so I just don't even want to.
No, you have to do an entirely different one, at least on your paladin, because if you're healing... Oh,
yeah, no, they are totally different, yeah. But, I mean, like, just, he had his artifact appearance, and I was like, well, now you've done it, now it sounds cool. I'm just way far behind, so I'm just going to not do it, and then, yeah.
Yeah, I watched a video on you know, a Mistweaver doing it, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't look that bad, okay. And I can tell that I'm going to need a lot of practice on it because there's a lot of like, you have to be like so situationally aware with that first little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, there's a hunter who's attacking. Can I get to him fast enough to like stun him? Or do I need to make sure I'm standing between the tank? And like, there's a lot going on and you have to DPS at the same time. And it's like, okay, so when the next tier comes out and I'm fully decked out in that, I might be able to do this.
Well, and that was the thing, right? Is they had kind of tuned it to people having like 925 gear when we had like 870 gear. And it was like, ugh, why would you put this content out right now?
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like I've hit concordance and I'm like over 900 in my gear level. And yeah, last time I tried it, I went in there and I I got maybe a third to half of the way through just that first little bit, and then it's like, okay, either I die or I can't heal fast enough and still, not get hit by that mana takeaway thingy and stuff. So I'm like,
Mhm.
yeah, we're done for now. We're
Once
gonna leave
once
it.
I realized that first thing wasn't it, I was just like, F this.
Yeah, tell me about it. Like I saw the whole video of someone, doing the whole thing. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you go in there and then it's over, right? No. Okay, then
Nope,
you go
nope, there's
no,
more.
and then you did what? What the? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like I'm really excited to the point to be able to do it, but I I don't have the situational awareness to like keep an eye on that many mobs in that first little bit. Like if I get past that, like it's gonna be challenging the rest of the way, but I think that's like way more doable for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I finally, I think I'm getting close to 920 in terms of my gear level, and I have concordance a few times over. And so I kind of like this last week started thinking like, okay, maybe I'll poke my head in there again. Like,
Mm-hmm.
might be able to do it now. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, and I really like the paladin weapon appearance. Like, I would love to have it, but I'm just like, ugh,
Yeah, it's a lot of
mage tower.
it's a lot of work. Like, and it's got to be available too. Like, you could be totally
Yeah.
in the mood and be like, "Oh, but the mage tower is probably a good 7 or 8 days away from being
Well, yeah, and
up."
it's going to be even further now, right? Because nobody's grinding that content anymore. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think it was a poor release timing. I think personally on the Mage Tower, but
Yeah. Well,
I
the
know
people who
other
did
people
beat it,
disagree. Yep.
yeah, the people who beat it, I'm happy for them that they got it and they did their challenges and stuff.
I
I
think
am I just want to make sure that I'm able to get it at some point.
I think my only complaint about it is this. Like, when they said that, oh, we're going to give you artifacts, but then everybody was talking about, oh, but we're all going to have Ashbringers. And they were like, well, yeah, but we're going to put in different appearances, so you'll be able to change how yours looks. I think a lot of us had an idea that there were going to be a lot of different appearances. And then we ended up with, like, what is it, in total 5, but then there's color variations on top of
Yeah.
it. And I think my hope would have been that at least to get the base color variation of each design would have been something that's pretty simple and doable, so that people at least feel like they have some variety, but then maybe make the color tints a bit more challenging. And I mean, that is what they did, but I do feel like the bar to get the initial appearance is a little too high, because like, I want my weapon to look unique and cool and different and all of that. But I ultimately just transmogged it into looking like something else because I got sick of seeing my weapon with everybody. So I kind of wish they
Yeah,
had
I
more
transmogged-
variety.
I think I transmogged everything except for my paladin hammer. Everything else I transmogged because I was just like, exactly, I look the same as everyone else. But yeah, I really like the way the paladin hammer looks. But I do agree with you that the first color tint in each of the different appearances, some of them they are really difficult to get. Like, I mean, there's the rating one, there's the PvP one. It's like there's kind of like one appearance for everything that you do in the game. So if you like PvP, there's an appearance for you. If you like rating, there's an appearance for you, which is fine. But then, like you said, that leads to like everyone has the first artifact appearance, obviously. And then, most people, if not everyone by now, have the like you finished the campaign and unlocked your third relic, so you've got that second appearance now. And then beyond that, like, it's just everyone seems to run around with a few of those appearances and just like, oh man, okay, if I really like the second appearance for completing my class hall, everyone's got it. Like, we all look the same. This sucks. And like for like the paladin, I'd really like the PvP one, but I don't PvP on my paladin, so I'm like, ugh, okay.
Yeah. See, I really lucked out because I mean, I was hunting for it for so long, was my hidden appearance for my monk, because
I just got
love
my
that.
paladin hidden appearance. It
Oh,
finally dropped.
Yeah, the drop rate on those actually has gone up a lot from what I've heard. In fact, when I was running around with Tet, just doing the very beginning of Argus, it dropped for his paladin. So
yeah, that's when I
guess,
got it too. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's
A
dropping
demon
for
on
a
Argus.
lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
So wait,
But,
hold on. Is that a change where now these things will drop, or is it something that used to be something that would drop off random mobs that just had a really rare chance?
Didn't
it
it
had
have
a
to drop off
very
of demons?
it was demons specifically, so there was
Oh,
like
okay.
Felsoul Hold and Farinar and I think one other place that you could go and farm demons, and I don't even know how many demons I've killed with my paladin over the course of Legion,
Yeah.
but it's a lot. And yeah, my drop didn't happen until Argus. So it was
just
frustrating.
really hoping that maybe
It was like a
my items would drop.
0.01% chance or something like that. It was stupid low.
Yeah, John, yours won't.
No,
But,
I gotta go through
not,
and do
not
the
from
dungeons.
Argus.
You know what? I'm gonna be the only person I know. This probably isn't true, so don't write in. I'm gonna be the only person I know that actually finishes that whole Illidan bring me 7 billion shards of whatever, simply because I've had to run stupid Blackwing's Vault and
Neltharian's Lair, yeah, because I used to I mean, I queued in with you a couple times because I needed things for like different profession quests, and I'm like, why are you always running this one dungeon?
It's that, and then the Vault of the Wardens. Like I have to run both of those, and I have
I need to run
those
Vaults of the Wardens for alchemy
so many times. I'm so sick of it, and it apparently now has like bad luck protection on it. I still don't get it. I mean, like,
I wonder if that's what they did to the paladin one is like a bad luck protection or something, and like looked at how many demons you killed and then went, whoa, you've killed 10,000 demons. You should probably have this by now. Here you go.
Yeah.
Well, and I just think our number, like my number in my head of how many times is too many to run these dungeons, and their number isn't lining up because if I looked it up,
John,
it's
yours is
probably
5.
like, oh, I've ran that dungeon 10 times. Come on. And they're probably like, well, the protection is you've got to run it 30. But,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like I have run it a million times at this point. I'm just so sick of it. At least now we're at the point where when it comes to heroics, people give 0 Fs about running heroics at this point. You go in, the tank's just like, I don't care if everybody's loaded or not, I'm gone. They're already to the second boss before I've even loaded in, and I'm just like, you know what? More power to you. It's the only time I've ever really liked overzealous tanks. I'm like, just go, because I just got to get to the end boss so I can cross this off the list for the day and be done, because it's never going to drop. And I need to get 2 drops. It's not even that it's just 1 drop. I have to get a drop from each of these 2 dungeons. I'm so sick of it.
Yeah,
I
find it so funny how they did the hidden appearances, because I mean, Ben, like yours dropped off of a raid boss. Like my hunter got to go to a vendor and buy it. Like my paladin gets drops off of freaking demons. Like I just some of them are so like some classes are so difficult and other classes are super easy, and I don't understand why they did that at all.
Yeah,
like I get making it different, but like make it different bosses or different, like I don't know, but it seems crazy. Like my hunter bought 2 of the 3 specs. We're just buying it from vendors.
Well, I know the reason on the hunter, but I don't know for anybody else.
What's the reason on the hunter?
Because their hunters feel very strongly about whether or not they should be using a gun or a bow. So they wanted to give you an alternative option that was very easy to get in case you were one of those hunters that was like, I don't use a friggin' gun, or vice versa.
I'm actually one of those hunters. I don't use the guns in game. Yeah, so I prefer my hunter to have a bow and arrow. So I didn't know that was the reason, but I can see why. Now
Although,
that makes more sense.
I absolutely hate the bow that you get for transmog for Beastmaster, because it's like this gear like mech thing. I'm like, no, my hunter is not a gearhead. No. So yeah, but no, I wouldn't have gotten my hidden appearance if it wasn't for LFR, because we were stopping running Emerald Nightmare like that week when it finally dropped, and I had been doing because it drops off the Twin Dragons. Yeah. And it, we did that fight every single week, and it basically kind of just for me, when we could skip that part, we went back. I'm like, thank you. And I ran it on LFR every single week too. And what sucks is that it dropped for the tank in one LFR, and he's like, oh, I don't even have the weapon. I'm like, can you trade it to me? And he never responded. So I'm like, screw you, buddy.
Is it tradable?
Yeah, it should be.
Oh,
I mean, I think so. Maybe not. Maybe that wasn't an option. I just told someone to F themselves for no reason.
You just reminded me. I got my hidden artifact for a spec that I'm not. Like, I forgot about that completely, that I have the assassination hidden artifact.
Well, I have the
Well, then-
brewmaster one, but at least I have the weapon.
I think if you unlock it in one spec, you then get it on all the specs.
No, because I still don't have the Windwalker ones, which I think that only, like the quest chain or whatever, starts with the Withered training. And of course, I'm still trying to get the stupid.
Maybe it's
fox
not
mask.
like not the first appearance in the row, but I think if you like
Oh,
if
yes.
you do
Oh, the
like
colors
30
unlock.
dungeons with the then you you can unlock the colors. Yeah, it's just not the first one in the row.
Which
yeah.
makes
So
me
you have to
feel like
unlock
I should
things that
go
you can-
assassination now and start getting credit towards that. Because what's going to
Well, that's the thing,
happen,
then you'll have at least a color variant of the one that doesn't
Yeah.
drop for you, right?
I'm going to run these damn dungeons 7 million times to get the hidden artifact. I'm going to be like, yeah, I did it. Now I want the sweet color variation. Oh, I guess I got to run dungeons 7
Yeah.
million times in order to do
You should
it.
really
Yeah.
do that, John, because I've got I need to run dungeons. I've done 1 out of 30, but I've unlocked the PvP as well as the World Quest one, and then of course the main.
Oh
hidden
yeah,
one by
World
itself.
Quest. That's the other one. Yeah, World Quest.
Yeah, it's like what 100 World
I just
Quest?
got my hidden appearance on my paladin, so I'm good to
Yay.
run any dungeons that you need to get the extra colors.
Yeah, and I'll also heal on my monks so that yeah, we'll dual heal for you.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Well, I can go Shockedin, man. I'll out DPS it all.
We'll just run right to
Right.
the end. This is
Except it doesn't wait. If you just do them, does it count? Because I know that they changed something with the unlocks on it.
Yeah, so now you just have to have found your hidden artifact appearance. You no longer have to have it equipped.
okay.
You used to have to have it
Oh.
equipped. So I would equip it, especially on my hunter, because I think the hidden artifact appearance was the gun or something. So I would equip my hidden artifact appearance and then transmog it away, and it still counted.
That's
Cool.
awesome. So then I might actually be closer than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Because I got to keep running dungeons.
I can't
for
remember
forever.
when that change happened, but it's been
I
since.
think it was 7.2.
Was it 2? I couldn't remember if it was 2 or 3, but it's definitely live now. So
Yeah, John, just go to your order hall and mouse over the different color variations on your
Mhm.
assassination one. It'll tell you how many you have of each.
I mean, that's all right.
because I feel like 7.2 might have changed the total number of things you had to do, because it used to be
Could be.
100 dungeons and now it's 30, and then it used to be equipped artifact, and now I think it's just as long as you have the hidden artifact on. I don't even think it has to be that spec. I think it could be any spec. Then you're starting to count towards it.
I mean, I've
That could
still
work,
got to
yeah.
run Vault of the Wardens probably 90 more times, so it's probably fine. Like I'm
Well,
sure
one
I'll
of these
hit it.
times, let me know, because like I said,
Yeah.
there's a recipe for alchemy that I need. It's the only flask that I can't make outside of the alchemy room, so let me know, because if there's anybody in raid who needs a flask after I've put down the cauldron and everything, it's someone who needs agility, and I can't make that freaking thing. Like I can go back to Dalaran and make it, but yeah. So, anyways, Jocelyn, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. I always love doing art. You know that.
Yaw.
It was fun. It like immediately, like as Ben was saying that, I was like, oh man, we went over it. It was like, hey, our show used to be 2 hours. We could go 2 hours again.
Yeah, we could, but we did have this decision forever ago to be like, hey, let's trim it down to an hour.
We're gonna
And
be responsible. We gotta be
Keep it
responsible.
trim, John. Keep it trim.
That's
Yeah.
that's what they always tell me. But
I don't think I want to know. Let's go ahead and just drop that.
but you don't have any. Oh no.
So, Jocelyn, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at Joss Plays, and you can find all of the gaming shows that I do over on amove.tv. And if you're interested in kind of like a personal diary self-help type show, I do one with Jules from Torrent Think Tank and the wonderful, lovely quoted Nevermore on Tuesday nights called Slaying Demons. So you guys can check that out at jossplays.com.
I don't want to be biased, but that quoted Nevermore is my favorite.
I'll let you have that one.
Okay. John, what about you? How can people find you?
Well, if you want to hear more from me, the best place to do it is to follow me on Twitter at John_Jagger. I will let you know what I'm up to. You can catch me, at least when I'm not house sitting anymore, playing a lot of games on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Revendon, or listen to me talk about Heroes of the Storm Encore,
Core!
which is the Heroes of the Storm podcast I do, part of the Frog Pants Network, and you can find out more about that at heroesforyou.com. Ben,
Yes, John.
where can people find you?
Best place to find me is actually on Twitter. I am at Ben the Mage. I do another show with Eludra called Battle Pets, where we talk about battle pets in the World of Warcraft.
Imagine that.
Also, yeah, John. So I found out that there is a piece of DLC from Mass Effect 3 that I have never played.
Oh, really? What DLC?
Taking Back Omega.
I think
I've
I
never
did
played
that.
So, since I am no longer working 24/7, at some point I need to buy that DLC and play it because never done it before.
Yeah.
And it's like after playing Mass Effect Andromeda, I would like to play some actual Mass Effect again.
Right?
So at some point I'll be tweeting out when that happens and stuff like that. Because I don't know if you know this or not, but I have the entire Mass Effect trilogy on my YouTube channel, which isn't cool enough to have its own link yet. So you search for Ben Bumhofer. It's me. Yeah.
It's cool, Ben. Even if they won't give you your own link, it's cool.
Yeah.
Agreed.
There are people who are still watching it, which is cool. So I'm like, woohoo! Yay! All those, ones of people who have seen it. Yay! Anyways, this show, Azeroth Roundtable, you can find us on Twitter. We are at AzerothRT. All of our episodes are on AzerothRoundtable.com, also on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Alpha Geek Radio. Speaking of iTunes, I haven't looked to see if we've gotten any reviews in quite a while, so now is the time to get your review in. Give us 5 stars if you like us. Give us less if you don't, I guess. But yeah, it helps us out and all that fun stuff, so...
No, everybody tries to be nice. Just give us 5 stars or don't bother.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. Anyways, if you want to tell us about your map writing experiences, how we're absolutely wrong and you need to have the add-on or anything like that, you can always send those emails to azerothroundtable@gmail.com. And of course, last but not least, our intro has music from Blizzard, which is really awesome. They have good stuff. So check it out.
Well said, Ben. Well said.
Yeah. Oh, and also, we do have this Discord. If you go to azerothroundtable.com, click on, Discord, and you can find out what we talk about. Now that I'm not working 24/7, I can be a bit more active in there. And I'm also going to try to pull John in even more.
Yeah, I'll get in there at some point.
There's a fantastic 2-minute clip in there that is from, I think, episode 77 or something. It's great. You need to hear it again, John. Okay. It's great.
I always get nervous when I have to go back and revisit old audio clips, but
I think it was either the everybody from FERT is randomly listening and joining in on the call, or one of the times where we had just a whole bunch of people on.
Yeah, they don't call anymore because I made fun of all of FERT Raid for pre-potting.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
how dare you?
Well,
pre-potting is life.
At your difficulty, maybe. On normal difficulty, it's a waste of time.
So, John, why don't you tell us about that Patreon?
Hey, everybody, this show is made possible with the love and support, or at the very least, support of our patrons, and you can become one at patreon.com/AzerothRT. As always, I want to send a special thank you to the Murloc Club. That is Aaron and Simon. You're awesome. And actually, you're all awesome. But we do give a special shout out to the Murloc Club because they're in the Murloc Club.
That's part of the tier.
Yeah, hey. But it's not just that. We still really like Aaron and Simon.
Yeah. And you know what? We give them a good hearty...
Look at Ben, putting the Murloc in the Murloc Club. Good job.
That's what I do.
Anyway, patreon.com/AzerothRT is how you support the show. You can make us feel bad for our 5-star only vote comments by giving us money. So if that comment upset you, pay us.
Give you money?
Yeah.
That works. But we do appreciate all support, whether it is on Patreon or just, say hi every now and then. We like that.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
You guys are awesome. Hi, Jocelyn. See, that could be an interaction that we have.
You can be just like me.
Wow. I can interact with people. Wow.
Hi, John.
Oh, hi, Ben.
Ta-da! Interaction!
Real human interaction. We did it.
Mind blown.
Man, we taught so much on this podcast today, you guys. We learned about grapes, we learned about mapping, and we learned how to interact with other human beings.
John, would you say that we learned about cartography?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
The study of sick carts.
That's what I went to school for.
I majored in wheels. Everybody, thanks for joining us at the round table. Have a good night.
I majored in blowing in my NES.
I really hope you cut that off. It just I majored in blowing.
Oh, I can stop it there. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun.
That was
Agreed.
fun.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'm
Yeah.
really curious to hear what your take is going to be. Speaking of majoring in cartography.
Oh, I was going to say, speaking of majoring and blowing, I was like, I don't like where this is going, John.
Wow, John.
Let me tell
That's
you
rather
about getting a
presumptuous.
unicorn. No, but I'm curious to see how you do with the whole mapping process and all of that, and what your
Yeah.
approach and takeaway and all of that is going to be.
Like I
So-
said, I was thinking of doing it by hand, but now that you guys mentioned Excel, that would probably actually be a lot easier.
Yeah.
Especially with the
worked out
two
really well.
computer setup, I'm sure it's going to be pretty
yeah.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 monitors. It was great. I'm just all like, I went up. Oh, one big thing to pay attention to though is that sometimes when you walk into the next room, the camera turns 180 so that you're like facing as opposed to it being behind you. So keep an eye out for that.
I think that might have something to do with the warp rooms. I don't know, but like, yeah, that really threw me off. That was the first time I stopped mapping rooms because I was like, I don't know what just happened. Everything's gone wrong. I'm going to just run until I find something.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. But yeah, stuff like that happens. But no, it was a lot of fun. Hi, Thrall.
Girl says hi.
Hi, Mew Mew.
Loktar Okar. We'll greet him in the
How
language
can I get
of his...
treats if they do not listen?
Greetings in the language of your people.
He's cute. He's very pretty, very bright.
Speaking of little animals, what's up, dogs? You guys were good all show, and I'm very proud of you both.
And now they're going to keep you up all night long.
They already got me up at 4:40 this morning. It's probably why they're asleep now.
So they can do it again tomorrow.
Yeah. So they can get their sweet, delicious revenge.
The chat room can't actually see our video right now, Joss.
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I'll do it. Hold on. I'll switch. Oop, that's the wrong one. There we go.
I was like, why is Wicked Kitten saying she can't see him? I will hold him up higher.
There we go.
Oh, look at that. He's just staring at that mic. He's like, what's that?
Yep.
Can I eat it?
Yeah, and this is the most pets we've had on the stream. We got my dogs, your cat, and
Yeah,
Ben.
and the funny thing is... Oh,
Say hi,
thanks.
Thrall.
Yeah, Smudge almost jumped up onto the router, so I'm like, oh, let's not do that during the show. Ray Pie, the replay will probably be here as soon as we cut the stream. The podcast will probably be up sometime tomorrow, and the video sometime after that.
These are my actual dogs too. I gift them.
I love how it's all like big dog, different dog, small
Now I'm
dog.
covered in hair.
That's a gift. It is a gift. Treasure it.
Yeah.
Oh, he's so warm. My feet are so cold.
Oh, that's right. You're up in the Great White North.
Yep.
I always forget about that. It's
Yes,
like,
we
you're just
have
down the
cold
street.
weather here.
No.
It
That doesn't
rained here
exist.
the other day.
Did it? Oh my
It
god.
did. It was like,
Yeah,
oh
when-
my gosh, there's water in the sky for some reason.
So you know how you always wonder if, like, the snow's gonna stick or not, how it's gonna either evap when it hits the ground or anything.
Mhm.
For us, we always wonder if it's gonna evaporate immediately when it hits the ground or not. It just,
That's what I was
little bits of
wondering.
steam
Does
just-
it actually like hit the ground, or is it just like steam?
There are times when it gets really, really hot here, and it's like kind of just a light rain where you can see the streaks of the rain coming down, and they stop before they hit the ground.
It's not fun. It's like, it's gonna rain. Oh. And then, the thing that people always ask really tall people, like, how's the weather up there? It actually matters in Phoenix. Because it might actually be raining up there. We don't know.
Chat wants to know what's on the pups' necks in this. We wanted to train them to not go into a room. So it's a little collar that beeps at them if they get too close to a place they aren't supposed to be. So if they get too close to it, you just hear it start going beep, beep, beep. And they go, I don't want to go that way. And then they go the other way.
Good.
So
it's much better than the I'm going to zap you if you bark collars. I hate those.
We have one, and it didn't work, so we don't ever use it, because they were just like, oh, bark anyway. Screw you.
I'm going to bark at the zappy.
So yesterday, Buddy, with the rain, they were all very excited about the rain, and so I was like, all right, you guys want to go out in it? And they seemed really into that idea, and so I said, all right, let's go. And it was kind of late at night, like not insanely late, but certainly late enough where we're trying to be quiet. And Buddy goes running out in the rain, looks straight up, and starts barking at the sky. And I was just like, shh, be quiet. He just would not stop barking at the sky. So, he likes the rain. It doesn't happen very often, but he's got words for it. And, yeah.
He just gets confused. Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to be a show. Thanks for joining us, chat room. You're all wonderful, beautiful people. And I'm going to spam Murlocs in the channel for you guys. So there you go. Ben's going to make Murloc sounds. You all have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for stopping by. We will catch you all later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, chat room.